Hey guys, this is FPS Phil 1337, and before I even get into this, I'm just going to talk about this just for a second. This Camtasia, this is the program I'm using to record the desktop. This is a great program, and because I've tried to use another couple trying to record this video, but none of them, kind of suck dick. But this one is really good. And so anyways, now I'll get into it. So I had an assignment doing my computer science class today. It was we are working on Java in that class, JavaScript, and the program was it was a kind of a bare bones project, and the teacher told us to make a slot machine, and using a GUI format. So we had to you just had to print out 3 numbers, and then we had to tell them how many doubles or triples we had, and by that I mean if you pulled a slot machine, it had the 3 rotators, and one came up like 6, 2, 6. Because there was 2 6s in there, there's a double in there. But triples. So if all the were 8, 8, 8. So now you have so you kind of have an idea. And then he also told us that he wanted us to kind of make it our own, kind of do whatever we felt like, and just try and make it a little bit better. So yeah, and the reason I'm making this whole video is my teacher, who's the department head here at my university, he said he really liked my project. He said it was really good, and that I don't know. And he said he really liked it, and he was starting to ask me, he's like, oh, so you're going to be a computer science major? And I mean, he could have asked that to anybody, but I didn't really hear him ask that to anybody besides me. I mean, I'm not going to. I'm going into psychology, but anyways, that's a whole nothing you don't really care about. Anyway, so the environment we're using is BlueJ. So to start things off, we have the JFrame slot machine up here, and the panel, SlotMachinePanel. I know, it's creative. Anyways, so obviously here's our JFrame. And now I'm not going to really explain this to you because, if you're looking up how to create a user interface using this for a slot machine, then you probably already know what all this means. And if you don't know what it means, then I mean, you can just pause it and then kind of look at it and try and look up what stuff means. But I'm just going to assume that you already know what's going on. And so here's our program, slot machine. So because this is the panel, we're just gonna, or the frame, I'm sorry, we're just gonna leave this alone, not even bother with it. Anyway, so we're gonna come to the panel. Now I already imported a couple of the 3 things for the JPanel, but because we're making a slot machine with that will create 3 random numbers, I imported the random class. So that's just in case you don't know what that was. That's what it was for, to create the 3 numbers. Well, anyways, so when I started thinking about it, there's a couple of things that I was thinking about. Well, what do I have to do to make this? And the first things that I thought about. Well, we're gonna need the integers. So we need to create the because it's a slot machine with 3 slides, we're gonna need 3 random ints. So we've got those down, and then I'm gonna assume you know what all this is, the private integers. And so the next one was I'll get talking to you about in a little bit, which is the coinCount integer. And like I just said, I'm going to be talking to you about what that is in just a few moments. Then, as I described to you earlier, we're going to need to count the number of doubles. And I know doubles is a little close to double, so you can see it automatically changed to red. But it's I mean, it's not the most. It's not obviously the best. It's a little close. If you accidentally don't hit that S, you're gonna get a couple of syntax errors. But I mean, triples was just or doubles, I'm sorry, was just the best way to really describe what we'd be counting there. Then the next thought was to to count the number of pulls that the person was going to have on the slot machine. And then these were the different. I'll leave that so we can differentiate between the three privates we're going to be using. We're going to be using private ints, private buttons, and private JLabels. So now usually we wouldn't usually leave that white space there, but just so you can see the differences, or not, but all the different ones. So the next thing is to make the J button. So we're just gonna call this simply pull, and then that was the only button that I used, and then the next thing was all the J labels, and the first J label that came to mind was, well, you gotta tell a person what's going on here. You can't just throw a program at them and expect to know exactly what to do. So I mean, they're very basic instructions because it is a slot machine. It's not the most complicated thing. So the first J label I had was instruction, and so then the next J label that we have is the number 1. Now this J label is gonna correspond with random, the random one, and I decided to make them different because up here, we're creating random numbers. So so every time that's gonna be random, and but this number, or this JPanel, or J label, I'm sorry, it's going to be different each time, but it's no longer random, and so I just called it number because I didn't feel. I mean, it doesn't matter. You could call it random 1 or you could call it pizza 1. It doesn't matter. But I just decided I would call it number 1, and so then we have 3 numbers, or so we have to have all the different JPanels for the 3 numbers. Then next the next JPanel would be the number of doubles, and so that obviously means another one would have to be number of triples. Now I'm not gonna really worry about compiling this with you guys because I mean, I will at the end just to see if I typed everything perfect, but I don't really expect that it's going to come out exactly perfect in the terms of syntax. I mean, there's probably going to be a couple of misspellings, but I'm sure you get the huge. I'm sure you're not copying and pasting exactly what I'm doing. I'm sure you're just kind of looking at the ideas. So I'm not going to worry too much about the syntax for right now. Obviously, when I turned it in, I was worried about it, but I got rid of the program off this panel, and when I decided to make this video, okay, so now we've got we have our ints, our J buttons, and our J labels all named. All right, so the next thing to do is we get to make the slot panel, and obviously because it's corresponding with another program, so to speak, we need to make it public. So we have all our ints, we have all of these private, just in case by any chance I make other something else, and but this will be public. This whole big mess coming up. All right. So now I'll talk to you about. I was talking for a second about the coinCount, and so this is kind of where this is going to come into play. If I'm only 19, so I've never really had the chance to go to a casino, and I don't really, I don't know. I just see it as a waste of time. But I mean, I guess you could make money, but you could also lose a lot of money. So anyways, if you were to go to a casino and you were to go to a slot machine, you'd obviously have a set amount of coins to go through. You don't have an unlimited amount of coins. Now this wasn't part of the project. This is something I thought of to put in here. So I thought I would give the user of the interface a set number of coins to start off with. And so I just set it to 15. I mean, you really could set it to anything. I mean, it wouldn't be much fun if you gave them like 20,000 coins, but because you know they'd never really. It'd take a long time to run out. But if they ever did, but because I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. What I mean by if they did, and so I gave them 15 to start off with, and then then I set all the randoms to 0, just to start off with, so that when we put the randoms in a J label, they can actually have something instead of just a nothing space. They'll all start off as zeros, and then it's the same with the doubles. We're gonna set those initially to 0 to begin with as well. And then the triples. I don't know if I said triples, but I'm gonna say it again just in case. So now that we've set all the important things so far to 0, I mean, well, the only thing really missing is the number of polls, but I've got that down later on about the polls, so we'll get to that later. But so then then now we're gonna get into the actual the interface of the program. I'm just gonna copy this so I don't misspell anything. And so we're gonna start making our J labels. So we gotta say new J label, and then we gotta tell it what we want it to say. So let's just make it really straight to the point. Let's just say push the button to pull the slot. So it's gonna put, because we made this a J label, it's gonna push out this. So it kind of be like the system out print line, or the system out print if you weren't making it in a user face. And then the next thing I thought would oh, I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't ever make a coin count label, so I'm gonna make that really quick. Let's just call it something simple like coin. Let's see, did I use coin? No. Okay, so we'll call it coin, just to make it easy. And so we'll say coin equals new J label, and then we're gonna say I'll just inform the user that they have, and then we've got to put a space and then plus, and then what do we use? Coin count, and then finish off the sentence with you have two left to play with. I don't know if you guys can hear those other homos in the background, but those are my the kids I'm living in my apartment with. And so I think I'm almost about to run out of time for this first video, so I'll have to make a couple more. So if you want to see how I did the rest of this, just go on to the next video.